guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm in my kitchen because this is the part of my house that has the best lighting, at least natural lighting. It is day 4 of the quarantine, I think. I'm not even counting anymore. I'm living in the Netherlands, so we have kind of gone into a quarantine situation. All of our restaurants are closed, all of our beauty salons are closed, all of our retailers are closed, so the only thing really open at the moment is the grocery store and of course the most important, like hospitals and something. So you can technically say we are in a lockdown right now, and I'm supposed to be working from home, or that is what I've been doing, but I'm having a day off today to just enjoy the lockdown and do some things for myself. So I decided I'm gonna show you guys how I do my brow lift at home. I've been doing my brow lift myself now for the last half year. So before we get started, I'm gonna show you guys what I usually use. I got this lash lift kit from Amazon. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen a lash lift kit on Amazon. Like, there's millions of different ones. I just went for one that had pretty good reviews. I always recommend when you're on Amazon, just read the reviews, because then you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for. This one had pretty good reviews. It is for the lashes, but they basically use the same products for the eyebrows. So if it's safe for the eyes, it should be safe for your eyebrows, if you know what I'm saying. Now, this kit comes with a couple of different things. I think it's gonna be a mess, so I don't really want to show it. I do have a couple of times left to do this lash lift, I think. I have enough perming solution and fixing solution to do a little bit more, but it comes with a glue, it comes with a perming solution, it comes with a fixing solution, an oil, and then it comes with a cleanser, but the cleanser is already out, so I don't use that one more. So now, of course, it is a lash lift kit, so it also comes with the lifting pads for your lashes and also the cleansing tool, which is the one I also use for my eyebrow. What you're gonna need beyond that is kind of up to yourself. I prefer to apply all of the products with some Q-tips, so I have some Q-tips at hand. I also have a spoolie because I like to brush my eyebrow hairs upwards with a spoolie and then set them with the glue. I also, whoa, I cannot talk today. I also have a tweezer, and then I have my kit for my coloring, but I will show you guys what I use for coloring when we get to that step. I'm gonna assume you guys, we're gonna get right into it. I unfortunately don't have any cotton pads, so I'm using a towel for most of the cotton pad work, but if you have cotton pads, it's usually the easiest. So my camera ran out of battery, so we're just gonna have to do a retake. I'm gonna start by just taking off the makeup I have on my eyebrows. You should just remove makeup if you're gonna do a lash lift, and all the makeup around that area as well. I'm only wearing an eyebrow pencil and some CC cream, so I'm just gonna remove that. So I'm just gonna remove any makeup around the eyebrows as well on the eyebrows. I'm never gentle with my face ever, so if I was you, I would just try to be gentle when you're removing all of this makeup and all of that stuff, but we ain't doing that today, sis. I'm just gonna dab this with my handy dandy towel that I got here, just make sure that there's no oily residue. I'm gonna show you only on this eyebrow, because if I'm gonna do both, it's gonna take forever. So ignore this pimple right here and just focus on the eyebrow. This is how my eyebrow looks at the moment. It still has a little bit of the perming kind of vibe to it, but I still want them to be a lot more standing up straight. So that's what we're gonna attempt to achieve today. The first step you're actually doing is to glue down your eyebrow hairs onto your skin. You're gonna take the glue that it comes with, and what I'm gonna do is I start on the like closest part to the eyebrow, so right here, and I just layer a bunch of glue onto there. And I just work in sections. So I start with just this area right here. And then what I do is just take a flat edge like this, and I start pushing the eyebrows hairs upwards. I'm not using the spoolie part because I think that this works a lot better. I'm kind of like rolling my eyebrow pencil or whatever tool you have lying around. If you have like one of these spoolies that you can just easily throw away, you would use those too. You can also go before that the eyebrow like the glue dries, you can go a little bit in with your spoolie, but you can see it doesn't work as well as rolling. So I just take this and I start rolling and I hold, because you want your eyebrow hairs to really lay down flat upwards. So that's what we're doing. When you're happy with one section, you're gonna go on to the next one by grabbing a little bit more glue and just really covering that section with glue. And again, you're gonna go in with your handy dandy, whatever tool you're using. You're gonna start rolling the hairs upwards. And I really like this method because it really makes sure that the eyebrow hairs are lying really flat. Now, if you feel like some eyebrows are just not coming upwards, you can just take the spoolie part, push them up, and then roll. Now we're gonna go to the down part here. You're gonna just take a lot of glue again, and we're just gonna douse those hair in glue. Make sure that all hairs come in there. Now, my eyebrows are quite groomed, I have to say, because I don't really have crazy eyebrows, which I wish I did, because my eyebrows are pretty standard. So I don't need a lot of grooming, but if you do, I will show you guys at the end result, like when you can actually do the grooming part. I like to take a little bit of extra glue and just go throughout, because sometimes there's hairs that just didn't like come with in the process. So just do a little bit of extra glue all over. Take your pencil again and just roll, 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 roll throughout. Okay, so that's how they're looking. I think that looks great. So I'm gonna do the other one off camera and I will be right back. Okay, we're back, and this is how crazy our eyebrows are looking. Do not be alarmed. This is just how it's looking. Or I forgot something at the store, which was really bad. I'm gonna blame it on the quarantine because everything is sold out in this effing country. But you need some plastic wrap. I just kind of cut up a Ziploc bag, but plastic wrap works a lot better to incubate the fixing, which is our next step. We're gonna be applying our perming solution. Now, the steps are actually on the box, so it's pretty straightforward, but I do want to show you guys how I do it. I take a Q-tip and I cut off the ends of the Q-tip. I cut off the ends of the Q-tip, so I just have this situation right here. This is also really good to use if you want to do the rolling technique with the glue to get your hairs to stand up straight, but I like to use this for the perming solution. So that is our next step. I'm going to take the perming solution, which like smells absolutely disgusting, smells like rotten eggs. You're gonna pick up a fair amount on your little like device that you created, and we are just gonna start applying it to the root onto our hairs. Now, we don't want that glue to start lifting, because you want the eyebrow or eyelash, oh my god, yeah, eyebrow hairs to stay in place, because you want them to stay in place how they should be, like up straight. So just make sure none of the glue starts loosening it up, which sometimes could happen. But we're gonna apply a good amount of this perming solution on both sides. And when you've applied the perming solution, we're gonna take our fake plastic wrap, whatever you have, and we're gonna apply it. You're gonna let this sit for 8 to 12 minutes. I'm taking a tape to make sure that this stays. Oh my god, I have like the biggest windows so everyone can see what I'm doing. You're gonna apply this and you're gonna let it sit for 8 to 12 minutes. So 12 minutes is up. I'm going to take this plastic wrap off very carefully, like so. Now you're gonna take a new Q-tip and you're just gonna lightly go over and take away some of that perming solution. It doesn't have to be super clean, but I like to just gently clean them off like so. Make sure you just get rid of any excess that you might not want, and it can help you also brush up those eyebrows a little bit more. After you have removed the majority of the perming solution with your Q-tip, it's time for the next step, which is the fixing solution. It actually says fixing on there, if it's gonna focus. Yeah. You're gonna take the same type of tool that we use for the perming. You're gonna dip it in and you're gonna get some of that fixing lotion and you're gonna apply it to the brows from root to top. Again, I am not sure if you're supposed to apply it on the entire hairs. Maybe you're only supposed to apply it on the root, but I do it like this because the first time I did it like this and it worked fine. And I just apply that all over. Take a plastic wrap. I'm just taking this one and you're gonna leave it on for the same amount of time. I usually do it for the 12 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 12 minutes.
Put back your plastic wrap and then I'll be right back when it has set. So we're gonna take this off and this is how they're looking. What I like to do is take the cleaning tool that actually comes with the kit. I like to go in with this cleaning tool to get rid of a little bit of that extra product from the fixation and everything. I do it like this, it helps me the most. But I just go in and kind of remove any excess product with the cleaning tool. I'm also going in with the Q-tip. And again, you're just gonna lightly take away any product that's left on the brows. Now, next step, you're gonna take a Q-tip without taking away the little part of the Q-tip, and I'm gonna take the nutrition. This is basically just an oil, so you could just use an oil that you have at home, but if you're using one of these kits, it will for sure come with this nutrition. You're gonna just lay that on top. This is supposed to help make sure that your eyebrows are nice and regenerated. It's kind of like an argan oil, I would guess. So it helps just like make sure that the eyebrow hair stays nice and healthy. So I'm applying that to the brows like so. But this also will help to get a lot of the residue off. So I kind of like to spend a lot of time applying this to my brows. I'm just gonna show you guys what the brows look like now after fixation and everything. They're looking a little crazy. I like to take a little bit of the cleaning tool again and start taking away all that glue, because it's the glue mainly that is the issue when you're dealing with this. I'm just gonna go in with my oil-free wipes. This is just wipes with micellar water. And we're just gonna clean off the brows a little bit. After you can leave the nutrition on longer. I kind of don't use the nutrition for nutrition purposes, but more to get like the excess product off. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. You're gonna take your brush and you can see when you just brush your eyebrow hairs, they're gonna be nice and straight. Now we're gonna move on to the second part, which is the dyeing of the brows. I do recommend doing a tint right after if you can. If you don't want to, you could just leave them like this. What I like to do is just have a look if I have any like hairs, unwanted hairs lying around. Like I said, I'm trying to grow out my eyebrows, so I'm not removing too much hair from these. I'm not even going to be cutting the eyebrows because my eyebrow hairs are not that long. They're quite, as you can see, they're quite short. If you're doing this for the first time, your eyebrow hairs probably will be longer than mine, but I've trimmed them so they're not that long. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you guys can see my whole face again. And I'm gonna show you the products that I use for tinting my eyebrows. The color that I use is from this brand right here, Refectozil. Refectozil is the colors that I'm using. They're really unaffordable, so I really highly recommend picking these up. I have them in 3 different colors. I usually have all the colors because I usually tint my friend's eyebrows as well. But these are, I think, the most important colors in my opinion if you have like not super dark hair, basically. I have number 3, which is a neutral brown. Number 1 is a gray, so it helps ash out the color a bit. And you have 3.1, which is a light brown, which suits basically all blondes. This is good for any blonde, but I like to mix in a little bit of the one to get more of an ashy color, not too much. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna mix a little bit of every single one of these because my hair has actually grown out. This is like my natural hair color here, and I like having a little bit of a darker eyebrow. So we're gonna mixing all of those three. With that, I'm gonna use the oxidant, which is the developer. I like to use the liquid one. There's also a cream one. It just depends what you like. I used the Reflectozil Vitamin E Skin Protector and Cream. This is what I put around the eyebrows to make sure I protect the skin. And then I use Q-tips to clean it up. I use a little brush to mix the color and to apply the color. So I have my little cup here to mix the color. So I like to take, you kind of have to experiment with this, but I'm gonna go first in with my 3.1. This is my main color. This is the light brown. And I'm gonna take like ish amount of that. I always take too much color. I use way too much color. So just make sure you do majority of this one. I'm gonna just take a little dot of the gray because I don't want them to be too ashy. So just like that, it's not a lot at all. To darken up the color, I'm going in with the natural brown, which is number 3. And I'm doing the same amount as that gray I'm doing of this one, maybe a little bit more, just a little dabble of that. Take all of these colors and make sure that they're all together, like so. I take my liquid oxidant, my developer, and I do about 8 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, roughly. But I'm gonna mix this together and I will show you what the consistency is gonna look like. The color of it is gonna be quite red, as you guys can see, but it's definitely does not come out red when you put it on your eyebrows. This is the consistency. It's quite thick, so it stays on the brush. It's thick enough to stay on the brush, and that's kind of how you want it. I'm gonna take this skin protector. And what you can do if you're unsure what your shape is, you can map out your shape using a pen. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can do that. You just take your pen, you line it up to your nose, and you do a nice little line like that, and a line like that with the pen, and then you line it up here and here through the pupil. Look down into the mirror. You're gonna just protect any area of the skin that you don't want dyed. So I like to just do under here a little bit. This is not super important, but I do like to do this step just to make sure that it gets nice and crisp. Take some more. I like to take it through the nose here and just drag it downwards, and then you know exactly where you need to put it, like that. I'm gonna go at the top. You're gonna drag it. Try to do it in one line so you don't get any weird areas. Make sure you look into a nice mirror. You're gonna take your color. I like to take quite a saturation of color, and we're gonna just start applying it to the outer part. Now, you can use a really precise motion to this, but I like to first really saturate the color onto the eyebrows. And it's gonna look crazy in the beginning, but that's the point. You just wanna make sure that all hairs are nicely saturated, even though it's gonna look messy. So just do that. You're gonna grab one more of those Q-tips, or a couple of those Q-tips, and you're gonna start cleaning this off in the shape that you want. So we're gonna start on the top here and just pull downwards like that. Same thing on the bottom. I like to grab a little bit more color, and I like to just apply a little bit more color in the front here. And you decide yourself how you want your front to be. If you want it to be more ombre, you can remove a little bit of color from the front. I just like to apply it like this. Take your Q-tip and clean up. Same thing here. You can even do it like this. You just take it like this and go down. And this will really make your shape, so make sure that your shape is nice and the way you want it. I'm gonna do the other side and I'll be right back. Back, and this is how they're looking. They look super dark at this moment, but they're not gonna stay this dark. But as you guys can see, I made them a little bit thicker than what they usually are because it will stain the skin a little bit. So if you want them to be thicker, you can do that. Wherever you need a little bit of extra color, so where you have gaps, I would saturate that space with a lot more color than what in the other spaces. But this is basically how I've left them on, and I'm gonna leave this on for a couple of minutes. I like to leave it on until the color gets matte. As you guys can see now, there's still a little bit of a shine in the color, so I like to leave this on until it goes matte. You'll see what it looks like when it is matte. For me, the color has developed enough. You can see that I kind of messed up a little bit on like some edges, but that doesn't matter. I'm taking just some paper towel and some water, and we're gonna start removing this color, and we're gonna see what the result is. Usually I'm pretty happy with whatever result I get. Sometimes it gets a little bit too dark, sometimes it gets a little bit too light. It's just like every time it's a little bit different because I like to mix the colors a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with that tint. We're gonna do the other side as well. This is a lot easier to be removed with a con pad, so just use that if you have it. Yeah, I'm very happy with those. Very happy. Like so. So that is the finished product with the tint and the lash lift. They're looking nice and bushy, which I like. So this is the final eyebrows. I'm really happy with them, and I hope you guys learned something from this video. I've been gone for a while, so this was my first video back after a long time, and I'm really happy to be back. I'm gonna be switching things up a little bit on my channel and make sure that I start doing things that I really love to post. I used to do a lot of makeup tutorials, but that's not something that I am super passionate about. I love doing reviews. I love doing things that you can do at home and just talking about lifestyle, cooking, all of that jazz. So my channel is gonna have a little bit of revamp this next coming weeks, coming months, whatever. I'm now in quarantine, so I'm gonna have a lot of time to film. And if this is something you guys like and you want more tips and tricks on how to keep yourself nice and glam from the comfort of your own home, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!